Sitting across Dr. Shashi Tharoor was not just an interview, it was an experience. His clarity, his energy, the way he carries ideas was on another level. I'll be honest with you, I felt the pressure. There were a few moments where whatever I had prepared, it just disappeared. But what stayed was pure conversation between us. A more human conversation. The exchange, the presence, we were there. And he kept the space open. He made it so easy. He made it so human, so thoughtful. I'm so grateful for that moment. And I know that this is just the start for many more conversations like that. Please stay with me till the end, because there are a few moments in this interview where you will definitely shift your perspective. Thank you for watching. Dr. Shashi Tharoor, welcome to Simi, welcome to Skiathos.
It's wonderful to be here. The very first time I've come to Skiathos. What a beautiful place in a beautiful country.
Thank you very much for giving me some time to interview you.
To see an Indian Greek, a Greek Indian.
Thank you very much. How are you seeing? It's your first time in Greece?
First time in Skiathos, but not first time in Greece. I first came to Greece back as a tourist in 1980. So it goes back a long, long while. So I've seen Athens a few times since then. I came for the Athens Olympics also. So I've been back a few times. But it's very, very good to be in this part. I didn't really have much time for island cruises and stuff like that. So it's my first time on an island. Beautiful.
That's great. I have gathered some questions about you.
Sure.
How can the Indian diaspora contribute to strengthening the cultural and economic ties between India and Greece? Focus
Sure.
on
Well,
Greece.
generally speaking, of course, in other countries, it's been a tremendous success. In many, many ways, the diaspora has been a significant factor. If you look at countries like the US, the UK, the Gulf countries, the diaspora is very major. Their work, their remittances, their contributions, their influence in their new countries, all of this has been a great value to India. In Greece, it's a smaller diaspora. I don't have the exact numbers, but I'm told it's a fairly modest one. And also, the economic trade could be very much bigger. The potential is much greater than the reality. So I think Indian diaspora here could be a voice for India to make people more conscious and aware. Our relations are very ancient. Alexander the Great came in 4th century BC from Macedon and Greece. But he came, and he, as you know, came as an uninvited guest. Now we want Greeks to come, Greek businessmen, Greek entrepreneurs, traders to come to India. And India too has a lot to offer Greece.
Like an Indian growing up in Greece and having both great cultures, one of the greatest culture in history of humankind, I feel special about sharing these two cultures.
I mean, you've got two ancient cultures.
Yes.
With a very, very intense connection to the ancient history, ancient philosophies, ancient stories, ancient legends, as well as ancient beliefs and ideas. And I think that's the two things. Honestly, there are only two countries in the world with this much, because, you know, countries like Egypt and China, they have an ancient past, but they're not still as connected to that ancient past as India and Greece have remained throughout.
Yes, and you know what? The one thing that I admire a lot, and it's a personal bracket that I am opening, and I want to share with you, is like I am a filmmaker. I love stories. I love hearing story. I love writing scripts and stories. And what I can see is that while I was growing up with Bollywood, I came to Greece and I started understanding the more theatrical stories about what drama is, what tragedy is, whatever the whole scenario of a theoretical aspect of the story. So
we don't need to get into theory. You just demonstrate what you know, what you've learned, and each side will absorb from the other. I know that the ancient theories of dance and of theatre, dance in India, theatre here, go back many, many centuries before Christ in both Greece and India. And those sciences, and these are arts that are also understood as sciences, I think in many ways have contributed immeasurably to the richness of both cultures. So what you should do is depict Indian dance, depict Greek theatre in your storytelling. And as you say, Bollywood is a different kind of world. That's 20th century Indian culture, but it's also become very, very effective in getting ideas and consciousness about India around the world.
So, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, it's just a personal question to help also the youngster who are watching us
Yeah.
right now. What we can do to strengthen all these, combine all these skills of Indians living in Greece or the Greek people living in Greece and the Indian who are living in India, so that we get connection and create something. What these kind of things
Well,
you
one of the
believe?
things, for example, the government of India has a Visit India program encouraging young Greeks to come to India. And that could include Indian origin Greeks, of whom there are not too many like you. But that could be something we could do, where the government will facilitate a tour of India, expose you to different aspects, and so on. That program is not as well known as it should be, but you can contact the Indian embassy and see how you can apply for that. Similarly, I hope that young Indians can come to Greece as well, if the Greek government wants to take such an initiative. Then we have technical cooperation programs. If there are Greek students who want to learn Indian history, Indian archaeology, Indian dance, music, whatever, the Indian Council on Cultural Relations offers scholarships. So there's again ways of connecting that way. But otherwise, business, trade, culture, import, export, bringing Indian films here, bringing Greek books and ideas, philosophy to India, all of these are ways in which we can improve awareness. The challenge is, in the world of so much information, how do we take a special interest in a country we need to know more about, unless there is an effort made to make people conscious and aware? That's a job for all of us.
So my other question is: do you think that India has a role to play in global affairs, because it's
Oh,
more general and you can answer that more
well, of
general?
course, India is it's the most populous country in the world. It's the biggest democracy in the world. It's a country with a long record of cooperation in the international system. India has sent 290,000 peacekeepers under the UN Blue Helmets around the world to over 50 operations. 160 Indians have died in the service of the UN. And on top of that, you've had, even today, there are 5,000 Indian soldiers serving in 9 of the 11 active peacekeeping operations. So India has been a force, and it's also been, for the longest time, the second largest contributor to the UN's Democracy Fund. It supports democracy promotion around the world. So all of this is part of India's belief in Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family. And that idea is very much embedded in India's soul, in India's spirit, in India's character.
How do you see India engaging in the international arena? Again, it's connecting.
Well, India has been a major force in the non-aligned movement. During the Cold War, it didn't want to take sides. It wanted to prevent conflict, wanted to be a voice for peace, for disarmament. It's been a major voice of the global south, that is the so-called third world, the developing countries, putting their agenda forward. It believes in cooperation with the rest of the world as well. It really believes in trying to take international cooperation forward with the West and the East, the North and the South, all working together. And that's been India's track record for almost 8 decades. That's what we'll do.
So, Dr. Shashi Tharoor, last but not least, do you want to say something in Hindi or whatever
मैं
you want
क्या
to say?
बताऊं, इतनी सुंदर राज्य है आपके ग्रीस, तो इतना बिल्कुल अच्छा जगह है कि मैं भी चाहता हूं कि इंडियन टूरिस्ट ज़्यादा यहाँ आ जाए और यहाँ आके इस देश की सुंदरता, इस देश की इतिहास, इस देश की संस्कृति को ज़रा समझ ले और वापस जाके और भारतवासियों को कह दीजिए कि ग्रीस हमारा दोस्त भी है और हमारे साथ एक बहुत इतिहास का एक हमारे साथ शेयर करते हैं। और अभी मैं यहाँ हूँ और मैं अगर बार बार आऊँ, मैं आना चाहता हूँ। मैं भी चाहूँगा कि आप और आप जैसे दूसरे ग्रीक्स जो है, जो इंडियन ओरिजिन के नहीं है, उनको भी आप लेके आइए इंडिया देखने
Yes,
के लिए।
of course.
बढ़िया।
So, आप डॉक्टर शशि थरूर, आपको मालूम है अभी आपका एक और फ्रेंड है करण यहाँ
थैंक यू
पर।
करण।
थैंक यू डॉक्टर।
सी यू इन
थैंक यू
पेट्रा।
थैंक यू फॉर
थैंक यू।
टेकिंग सम टाइम।